now going to touch the pad. Everybody in the world fused. Yeah, there you go. Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Yes, we're still back in the original workshop. Well, it's not quite the original workshop. If you go right back to the very first few videos that I ever made, you will see a very different, big sort of barn type workshop when I used to live up near Aharoa. Now, my eldest daughter, Charlotte, is back from Canada, and she's going to go on a road trip. She says, "Dad, you got a car I can borrow?" So I said, "Yes, we have. You can use the little tiny tenacious Suzuki Alto." Now this has got a 3-cylinder 660cc F6A engine from Suzuki with it coupled oh, there goes the air compressor. I'm going to turn that off. Jeez, I'm back. Okay, so the the engine is coupled to an automatic transmission, just to ensure that we lose a little bit more power that engine already struggles to provide. But the car itself has been incredibly reliable. It's even been involved in a horrific car accident where it ended up being about 4 inches shorter than it should have been. Got the old Safari out and winched the thing back into the right shape, so she's all fixed. It's had the cylinder head off a couple of times, it's had the fuel tank out, it's had a cam belt done, it's had a fair bit of work done. But it's been a really good little car, I must admit, and my daughter loves driving it around, so she's going to head off on a road trip to New Zealand's South Island, and this road trip is going to last 6 months. So hopefully the poor little car is going to be okay. I've given it a once over, a couple of new tyres, put a fresh waff on it, given it some rego, and the last job really is to do an oil change on the car. Now it did have an oil change about 6 months ago, but it hasn't covered many Ks, but just, you know, in readiness for the road trip, let's give it a quick oil change. Plus I also wanted to give you an update on how things are going with the workshop. Okay, so we've got a Wix oil filter from my friend Nathan down the road that runs the Auto Factors. That's the part number, hopefully, 51394. Yes, 51394 says oil filter, so hopefully it'll fit. And he's given us some, well, he hasn't actually paid for it, but anyway, maybe next time. There's the oil that we're going to be using, and I bought this a while ago, and it says on there, look, for Alto. Now, for the life of me, I cannot remember the capacity how much oil this engine takes. I do have the service manual somewhere, can't find it. In the chaos of moving, it's disappeared, but I'm sure it'll reappear at some point. Okay, let's head over to the car. It's been running this morning. Charlotte brought it back this morning to do the work. And let's get the oil drained out, oil filter removed, new filter on, sump bung back in, and fill it up with oil. Here we go. One drain bung, hopefully it's a 17. It is. Excellent. And I won't make the same mistake Tool Girl Lily made. Let's get the oil pan a bit further back. Wow, this is tight on the threads. It's not a good sign, is it? Okay, here we go. Whey! Just. Only just. Right. Let's leave that to drain. Time for a rag. Right, whilst the old oil is draining out, let's head down into the engine bay and take a look and find that oil filter and then work out how we're going to get it out. Here we go. Great stuff. Oh, there it is. Right down there, look. Right, so the oil filter is just down there, underneath the exhaust manifold. If we come down the front, we might be able to get a better view through the grille. Ah, there he is, look. Mr. Oil Filter. Okay, well I think the easiest way for me to get to that is probably from underneath. Now, normally my tool of choice is the Sykes Pickavant sort of adjustable band oil filter removing tool, part number whatever it is. You'll find it on the website. A friend of mine, one of the viewers actually, based in Australia, he's a Sykes Pickavant agent, spotted the fact that I didn't now have one of these, and I was grumbling about the fact that somebody had stolen it. So he hooked me up with a new one. Very nice chap, and really appreciate it. However, this does not go small enough, given the fact that the Suzuki Alto, everything is tiny on the car. Even this band expander doesn't go small enough. Band expander, you know what I mean. Band tool, grippy tool thing, doesn't go small enough to fit the tiny Suzuki Alto filter. What I do have is one of these, and the part number is 36376. Now, just to be fair, it's not exactly the right one for the filter, but it does fit and work usually for this particular car. So we're going to use this in conjunction with a 17mm socket and a ratchet. Okay, let's get the filter out. Here we go. Now, you guys have got a far better view of what's going on than I have, but hey, that's okay. Right, that's on. It's not a particular tight fit, like I say, it's not the right one for this particular filter, but it does usually work. If not, we'll have to get the grips, won't we? Too much torque and it will slip, so just easy goes. There we go. All trays in the way, yeah, we're all good there. Perfect. I'll have rid of that. Oh, yeah, hit the tray. Good stuff. Fantastic. And bring it out through the top. So once that's finished dribbling, the next job is to give it a bit of a clean off around where the oil filter seals against the block. And you'll be able to see a lot, you'll be able to see a red rag, but you get the idea of what's going on. So I'll give it one whip round now, and we'll come back and give it one more once it's finally finished dribbling. There we go. Right, sump bung back in. One sump bung now. You should be fitting a new washer, sump bung washer. Don't have one, forgot to order one. Run out of the right size. So it's going to go back in as it is. It wasn't leaking before, so hopefully it won't leak again. Or it won't start to leak. Okay. Make sure that the mating surface is clean. There we go. Great stuff. We'll just push that over to one side of it. Right. Let's get that tweaked up. Click. Perfect. Okay, so oil filter is off. We've refit the sump bung. Now it's time to put a new oil filter on the engine block. Damn, it's hot in here today. Really is. The garage door's closed. It's like a bloody oven, honestly. Okay, so the pipe that I removed to get access from the top was the warm air ducting pipe that goes from the exhaust manifold through to the air filter housing, and that provides the engine with warm air during the winter time on cold mornings, so you don't get carb icing. What's carb icing, Andy? Well, if you've ever driven a car with a carburetor and you haven't had it switched to the winter setting on a really frosty cold morning, you'll find that your car runs out of power and stops. Leave it 5 minutes, starts again, off you go again. And it's because the jet, the main jet in the carburetor, the fuel freezes up in the jet, basically effectively blocking fuel flow, and your engine gives up. After a while, the ambient heat of the engine, you know, melts the ice in the carb, fuel flows again, and off you go back to work. Perfect. So I removed that. You won't get one of those on a modern fuel injected car. Okay, so oil filter, we like to digress, don't we? It is only an oil change video after all. Okay, now this one, being a cheap filter, thanks Nathan, has not been greased. Now you can use a bit of grease or some engine oil, make sure you put it around the seal around there, look. So I'm going to choose a bit of grease, is what I normally do. So we'll blather a bit of grease on there, a little tiny bit, less is more in this case. Right, little tiny bit of grease, that's probably twice as much as what I really need. And you can use engine oil, or, you know, even the engine oil you're going to be putting in, it's fine. I just prefer grease. There we go, great stuff. Right, one last quick whiz round with the rag, make sure it's nice and clean. There we go. And we can stick the filter on. Doing this looking at the camera rather than the car. How cool is that? Now you see all the dribbly oil down there, be sure to wash that off with some brake cleaner, spray it down, otherwise you'll have smelly engine oil burning on the side of your engine for a long time. Right, bit of a tweak. Now I like to give it a little bit of extra tweak, just because it's me, don't want it going loose. Don't go mad though. If you go mad, you'll possibly damage the seal, or the threads, or both. Cool, that's enough. Excellent. Right, time for some oil. Like I said, I can't remember how much oil this thing takes. It's not a lot. So we don't want to overcook it, so I might have to do a couple of checks. Right, so we've got 10W40 semi-synthetic. Wow. A bit posh for the old Alto. So we'll start off with maybe 3 litres. Can't see it being any less than 3 litres. I know the F10A engines took about 3.5 from memory. They were in our little SJ410s back in the UK. They were awesome little engines. I'll do one more glob and then we'll check it. There we go. What's that? Oh, yeah, a bit more yet. That'll do. Let's see where we're at. Now this has had a special part dipstick extension put on it, which is great. There's the original dipstick handle. Somebody's made this additional 4-inch extension, which is fantastic. Used to belong to an old chap in Browns Bay, did this car. And he had the service history for about 10 years on it. We're massively well looked after. Great. Right, where is that tube? There he is. Make sure it's pushed all the way down, pull it out, and we are on the dipstick. In fact, we're right at minimum. Okay, so probably about half a litre between minimum and maximum, so we'll give it a bit more. We've still got to start the engine up anyway, and it's still an axle stand, so this is really pretty futile at the moment. So it's just to make sure we've got enough in to start it up. It's not the final check. Now also the engine and the oil especially is not hot, so what we don't want to be doing is filling it to the maximum. Okay, we're about a third the way up the dipstick, so we'll stop at this point, get it off the axle stands, and then we'll top it up to about 3 or 4 mil below maximum. Because as the oil warms up, the volume will increase, and we don't want it to be over the maximum mark. Okie great stuff, that'll do for now. Right, better wash off that oil off the side of the block. Brilliant. Right, we should stick this pipe back on again, shouldn't we? So, which way around did it go? It's that way. There we go. Perfect. Right, we'll start the engine up, let it run for maybe a couple of minutes, turn it off, let the oil settle, and then we'll check the oil level again. Right, where are we at? Let's give it maybe 30 seconds to drain down. We don't want to overfill it. That will be really bad. You usually end up with oil inside your airbox if you overfill them. And then of course they start smoking and burning oil. And it's not really a very good look, is it? Not when you've just serviced your car. Okay, back down the tube. What are we on? We are just above minimum, so a bit more yet. Glug, 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 glug. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, we're about 2/3. Maybe one more glug, I think. One more glug. There we go. I reckon that's bang on. But I have been known to be wrong. Many times. Okay, give it 10 seconds to get to the sump. Because it's got to work its way down, hasn't it? Okay. Oh, look at that, about 5 mil from the maximum. That will do nicely. Great job. Geez, I am soaked. It's already, really, really hot down here. I'm quite muggy. I'm sure we're going to get a thunderstorm soon. It's only about 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, well that was a very quick video, hopefully, on how to do an engine oil and filter change on a Suzuki Alto. Now, the year, what is it? It's 1996 vintage, and it's the 660cc triple engine. Bloody awesome piece of kit. So there you go, that's the part number. You'll need that, and of course you'll need some oil as well. I've not given any torque settings. I have no idea what the sump bung should be. You'll have to Google it. I can't find the manual, but it's just don't over tighten it, otherwise you're going to strip the threads, aren't you? It's quite a decent sized bolt though, and quite a lot of thread in length, so you have to be a complete monkey, a gorilla, if you're going to destroy it completely. But use a new washer. I know I didn't, but don't do as I did. You should order a new washer at the same time. I'm sure they've got them, and they're only a few cents when you get the filter. Should come with a filter though, shouldn't they, really? Anyway, so hopefully you found this video helpful. I wanted to do 1 or 2 more videos here in the old workshop and on the little Alto before it heads off on its its 6-month adventure around New Zealand, because to be perfectly honest, it may not make it back. I just don't know. It's a very long way for a little town car to go. And little Charlie is going to have to look after it and check the oil and the water on a regular basis. I'm going to show how to do all of that. Okay, crew, well, if you enjoyed the video, why not click on the subscribe button. You'll see a little gear icon turn up. Click on the gear icon, and then you can tick the box and turn on notifications. And our friends down at YouTube, well, they're going to send you an email as and when I upload any new videos. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals, people. But first point of contact, if you don't mind, through the comments down on YouTube, because let's face it, that's where the videos are. Now, there's also a Patreon page for the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. You can go onto that and you can read all about the history of the channel, how it came to be, up and coming projects, and there's quite a few. In fact, we're right in the thick of a project, moving the workshop, and there will be some videos coming on that very soon. You can also become a patron. There's Toolgirl profiles on there, and you can gain access to video and photos through the Patreon page. And of course, your support is very much appreciated, and there'll be a lot more content going on to that Patreon page during 2019. And there's different tiers, you know, the more you donate each month, it unlocks a new tier with more information in it. Those that are already patrons, thank you very much. It really is much appreciated. It's great to have you guys on board, and your support is invaluable to the channel. It's certainly helping an awful lot with the workshop move and with the up and coming projects as well, including the old Honda ATC 200 Big Red, which has come back to life and is already hard at work, even though the project isn't yet finished. Okay, it's time for me to go. I'm going to crack on with the next job. See you around, chaps and chapettes. Over and out. And we get the flip again. Oh.